My name's Ash, and let's get things. Oh, fuck this! Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of The Drive-Thru. Today we're doing a spoiler discussion about the new Avengers ENDGAME. And because we know it's going to take a little bit of time, let's get straight into it and let's get stuck into it. Let's go. Who wants to kick things off? Should we start with some pros and cons? Maybe
let's start with pros.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll do the pros first.
All right, cool. Jared, you want to take us away?
Whoa, do I start with the biggest pro?
Let's go with the biggest pro.
Let's see what your biggest pro is.
The biggest moment that gave me the most goosebumps. Man, it's gonna be weird just spitting it out straight away.
Let's do it.
Cap picks up Mjolnir. Something I've wanted for years in the movies. Something that's happened in the comics. He's one of the few people to do it. I was hoping we'd see it on screen. We finally did, and it was fucking awesome. He picked it up, obviously battling Thanos, and the fight he has using it is just, for me, it was the number one point in the entire movie.
Yeah, I just got goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's definitely swear-worthy. And he doesn't just pick it up. He controls it. He's channeling lightning, he's swinging it, he's throwing it, he's using it in tandem with his shield.
Because I wasn't sure if when he picked up, if they'd be able to have lightning and all that. I never knew. I don't know the rules of Mjolnir, how it works, but I loved that. Yeah, he had the lightning, and
I wonder if it also made him, he who should be found worthy should possess the power of Thor. Was he also souped up strong when he was holding that there? Man, what a pop.
Yeah, I'm not going to read into that side of it too much, but yeah, it's just seeing him fight with it and fight with it well.
Taking it for what it is, seeing that come to fruition and the first swing, love it. Yeah, I was just I wanted to throw my hands up and yell at the screen in the middle of the cinema and just...
I gave a little...
And
I don't like to move.
Yeah, I was trying to keep my emotions.
Yeah, no, that was by far the strongest part of the film for me.
Yeah, like that whole bit where you just see the hammer on the floor and you just see it start shaking and everyone you think could grab it is around it, so you're just wondering who's going to get it. I just got so excited in that scene. I was just getting ready to jump up. Whoever got it, I didn't care who. Yeah. Just anyone other than Thor. I was just happy.
But we all knew it was going to be Cap. Yeah. As soon as we started to lift up the hand, you couldn't see his hand in the shot. They cut out the top of the handle. Yeah. As soon as he sort of lift off the ground, I'm like, yeah, that's Cap. Yeah, he's going to.
They threw it at first too, because it could have been Thor, because it zips past and it misses, and then it goes back, and you're someone that might be a little bit more casual is well, what's Thor doing? But,
and Thor's little comment straight after it when Cap throws it, and Thor's I knew it.
I feel that was all of us doing that same thing.
Yeah. That was he was just giving a fan line.
So 100%.
Number one moment. In the whole movie for me.
I think in agreement, everyone's pretty much on that one. Sure. Cool, Jed. Do you have any sort of moments that really took you that
if it's not the picking up of Mjolnir, it's when everyone comes back through the to the Doctor Strange rings. Yeah. Because when that happens, it's a dire moment. We need them to be back right then as well. And when they get revealed, and it's like a Lord of the Rings scale battle between superheroes, their houses, their families, their country, and then all Thanos' gang. Man, that was killer as well.
I think a massive highlight for me was the every comic book and fanboy wet dream moment who has the wallpaper of them battling each other and running into battle, and you see everyone doing their own thing.
Yeah.
To me, is a massive highlight as well. You get that right after the Cap fight, where he's picked up Mjolnir, and then everyone's back, and everyone's going head to head, and you just see this is the screenshot, and that's going on the wall. Thought that was really awesome. I think the back, the last third of the film is so strong in terms of it's everything I want in terms of an action film in that part.
Yeah, it is action movie, comic book movie. This is what you go to see them for, and it's like, you know, there's a lot of CGI going on, but it wasn't a pixelated mess. Like every character, it's not like focused on the outside and everyone hitting. It's like you're going from character, similar to, I guess, the original scene in Avengers 2012 when it pans through them all in New York.
Yeah, having their little...
Lots of cool throws, obviously seeing a lot of the Chitauri and everything like that, which I thought was really cool. Just everything about that last third of the film where it just they go, all right, cool, we're throwing everything and the kitchen sink at this, and we're all in, you know. Every character has a moment. Like,
I loved all the team ups, like when they were teaming up together. Like,
I love the relay of the gauntlet goes from clean to
to Carl. Like hot potato in a way.
Yeah,
that was really
clean
cool.
to Black Panther to Spidey, and then finally to
Captain Marvel.
Danvers.
So that was really cool. One of my favorite parts in that section is actually seeing Falcon return and using his wings in a way I haven't seen him
actually
use in
did
the whole
something.
film. You know, usually, unfortunately, he has like a cool, you know, weapon set, but he kind of gets passed over as like, you just another Hawkeye. And even Hawkeye's, I think, is really good in this film.
He's killer in this film.
But Roman. Seeing him use the wings to like clean someone up, sick.
And then
Loved
take
it.
him out and go again. It was killer.
That was super rad. I thought on the whole Ronin thing, I thought his character arc in this film was like really good. And I know everyone kind of like, there's word of like bitching and moaning about like, there's no Hawkeye in Infinity War, but like he's awesome in this.
He's a massive player. He's really important. Which is funny because when we catch up with Hawkeye, what have you been doing for 5 years? Oh, just murdering people. Just brutally taking out cartels, Yakuza, whoever it is. I find a big bunch of bad people and I murder the hell out of them.
I thought his character arc was really strong. Which you know, there's lots of cool character arcs and you. I think that's a massive strength of this film because it's so focused on the original Avengers lineup. You know, was there anything that sort of stood out to you, Jarman?
Mine was mainly the team ups.
The team ups.
I love that bit. Like you see Pepper and Stark go like just all ham on everyone with their suits on. Huge pop for me. Seeing Pepper Potts in the suit and her kicking ass. Loved it. I thought she looked great in the suit. Really enjoyed what she did because I was like, sick. Like, go whoop some ass. Like that's rad. As much as like I did cringe, I still loved it at the same time. Like it had a pretty good balance. Was the I guess you could say, is it the A-Force? The A-Force sort of team up, like we're not giving you this
kind of hero shot.
The hero shot, like, and it's so obvious, like it's so obvious, like this is the massive hero shot, and we're highlighting all the chicks, and it's like cool, all right, we get it.
It's funny because we shot that little video. You should check it out on our channel of us. You know, like I can't wait for an all Avengers film. Right when they showed that, I loved it. I like got the biggest pop, and I love that Hope was there, like Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp was like in this super massive scale battle because Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Ant-Man films are really quite little films, you know. But to see her there, like with everyone and talking to Cap and thinking she was all cool, like I loved it. And I would watch the hell out of a female Avengers movie.
I would too. After watching that, I definitely would.
J-Rod, I know you were sort of like pretty torn on that. Do you
on
think that was,
female moment?
Yeah.
Only with how they showed it did feel a bit cheesy.
It was cheesy.
So cheesy.
You can
but like,
get
overall,
away with it.
The effect of it was ultimately cool, but the way they did it, and when the camera was sort of panning and each girl was kind of stepping into the shot one at a time.
You get that, like, okay, cool. Like, this is
but
cool.
at the same time, it's like,
and the way they're kind of
once
setting
you
up their
spread everywhere, like, and what do you mean? Oh, we got it now. Haven't you been like haven't you been fighting for the last 20 minutes? Like, but no, it was.
But overall, it was a cool little moment. Despite a little bit of cheese that went along with it.
One bit I really liked was seeing Ant-Man punch one of those massive things from the first Avengers. Just taking it out with one punch. I'm just like, that's
and how big he was.
Yeah,
I love that he was just. He was bigger than. Do you reckon he was bigger than what he got in Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I reckon it was probably.
He was
similar.
massive, and I loved it, man. And he was like stomping shit.
In saying that, Paul Rudd is phenomenal in this.
He is such a he's so important to this.
He's
he's
really
the
only reason.
Yeah, he's the reason why it all works.
and he's the driving force behind it. Like as to, hey, we need to do this.
Yeah.
Like there's no option, and he's got a grown-up daughter. Like
Yeah.
he's just like, no, I don't care. We're bringing everybody back.
Yeah.
But he's hilarious in this film. There's like the fact that he still embodies the whole man. Cap, I love you. Like I really love you. Like he is unreal. Like every moment, like he's always on Cap's side and he's always about it. And just like the dynamic he has in that film, like there's a lot of humor in this film, and I feel like all of his stuff really hit home.
Yeah, there's only one thing he does in the whole movie that I don't like, is when Rocket's like, he's really good at that, about Cap's, and he goes, right? It was just a little bit, it's like, oh, can we get a little bit more cheese on that one, Paul? He's like, more cheese? I got more cheese.
Yeah.
But no, he's
he's unreal. Like, and like, even in the fight scenes, all the stuff that he does. Yeah, I think like the Ant-Man character, I look forward to seeing another movie.
Yeah, and he's always on it. I'm on it. I'm coming.
Yeah.
You know, like
So he was a real standout. Was there anything else that sort of stood out to you in terms of pros?
Well, I've got a few more.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
go.
yeah. Well, Captain Marvel.
Mm.
I think we should mention her is in big character, obviously. You know, in a movie. I was actually she didn't get that much screen time, which was surprising, but I liked it because I think a lot of people were worried that they were just going to shoehorn her in and she was going to steal the show and be the most powerful and kick Thanos' ass.
and which she was, but they used her sparingly. If she
Yeah.
didn't leave Earth to go sort out the universe, like she could have taken care of business a lot sooner. You know, so it was a good thing she wasn't there. We wouldn't have had half the conflict.
But it was good to know that like when he snapped his fingers, everything happened around the universe, not just Earth. So like that she had to go and sort every other planet out.
So no, I was really happy with her and how they handled her, because that was one of my biggest fears going in, that they were going to give her too much screen time and that. And and I was glad they didn't. They gave her a nice amount.
Yeah,
So,
and on her, I actually preferred her in this compared to Captain Marvel.
Same, I actually did too.
I liked her look. I loved her with the short hair.
I do. I dig the short hair as well. Yeah.
And in amongst everything else, whether or not because there's so much stuff going on, like one of my biggest gripes with Captain Marvel was how completely overpowered she is in that film as a rookie at what she is. And she doesn't exceed any of that in Endgame. She does take a sweet big punch to the face from Thanos and doesn't even flinch. But she doesn't seem overpowered in amongst everything that's going on, even though it's so obvious that in Captain Marvel she is OP. But I really enjoyed her character, and she was like so driven to be like, we need to fix this, and I need to fix problems. Like, and I thought that was like almost a little bit of a throwback to kind of like Winter Soldier, Civil War kind of Captain America, where he's like, we have to do this. Like he's really on point. So yeah, I thought she was really cool. In terms of what she brought to the film,
We needed her when she rocked up.
Yeah.
Like, so I was really glad to see her when she did.
Because it was almost like the equivalent of Thor rocking up in Wakanda in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Her coming and going through the ship, and didn't have quite the same goosebump feel to it, but it helped turn the tide.
Well, yeah, it was.
She came in just the right moment, and
It was hard to give that same amount of goosebumps in Thor, because that was like way more of like a punctuation point in the middle. Like we're already like so much cool stuff has happened. We've had everyone rock up. We've had the Mjolnir lifting, and then like for her to pop up, then it's like, no, we've seen some good stuff.
You can't top the Mjolnir lifting.
Yeah, that's by far.
Yeah. Any next one for you?
Oh,
I
you got a list.
For me, I think like another big thing. Like I really love Tom Holland in this. I thought Tom Holland was excellent. I think I love that suit. I love that Spidey suit. It's so good. I love that he goes into death mode and then he just like is completely over his head.
Yeah,
like,
he's just trying to get through when the spikes are just killing. Like heart
That
shots and
was
brain
actually really
shots.
cool.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't even the biggest fan of Spider-Man, like in his first film or even Civil War. I was just like, I don't really care about this. But this movie, I loved him in. Like, it was changed it
So
completely.
now you're looking more forward to Far From Home.
Yeah, now
because of
I'm
it?
so much more excited for that. Yeah.
See, I always just just prefer the most original red and blue Spidey suit
Mm.
you can give me. And like, I even don't like that we're going into Far From Home and he's got the black and red suit or the like.
I'm loving the black and red suit.
I just like classic outfits.
Yeah.
I hate too much deviation from the norm.
So you like the original Captain America outfit?
I don't mind when he's going like the one that he finishes the film in. Like I love it. Like I understand the progression if it's still the same basic colorway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm fine with Caps.
Yeah, I mean, Tom's great. I think he like the suit. I think his scenes are super crucial, even though he's in the film for a small part of the time.
Yeah.
Speaking on like the original suits, we see a lot of original stuff like in the time traveling and everything like that. How did anyone? Is that kind of like a highlight for anybody in terms of?
I love it. I love the going back and visiting all these other movies because it made the whole thing have so much more weight. It's like it's literally reminding you of what's come before it.
Yeah.
Here's some of the previous movies that have made this movie such a massive pinnacle of all these films, and it was good to see America's ass.
Did you have anything on that sort of like you enjoyed a lot of the throwback stuff?
Oh, I loved it. I loved all those scenes because obviously they've got to go back to different to get all the stones again. They've got to go get them at certain points in time. So yes, we get to see a lot of scenes from the other movies, but from a different point of view. And like you said, we see a few little shots that they obviously shot them for this movie, but you see some extra bits to those scenes.
Yeah.
That
See what happened directly
like
after
after Loki's like, I'll take that drink at the end of Avengers. You see the aftermath of that scene and what happens when they take him downstairs and all that. So no, I loved seeing all those little moments from a different point of view, and
yeah, for sure.
they were like some of my favorite bits of the movie. So,
yeah, I really enjoyed the interaction between Howard Stark and Tony Stark.
Oh yeah, man, that was Feel City.
Yeah,
yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot of feels which is a super positive as well. Like I think you start to enjoy those moments. Like the Tony Howard scene is really really good, which I thought was awesome. Another throwback part that I really got to pop on was like Hulk just do some Hulk things. Yeah, you know, like I thought that was really funny.
Gratuitous. Like it's not really who I am anymore.
Yeah. Oh, and I got a really good big pop on like Cap fighting Cap.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was super cool. Like I really enjoyed that.
Like could have been such a cool like Skrull moment.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would have loved it if he fought Cap and then know it was actually a Skrull. Like you know that they wouldn't have never done that, but that would have been really cool to see.
But do we feel that the Cap, our Cap from Endgame, should have won that fight a lot easier? So I'm thinking, he's a lot more trained. He should have kicked his other Cap's ass. Like,
or was.
But I felt they kind of showed that way to show
Cap,
they're equal.
Yeah,
like,
but his modern Cap kind of he's 5 years older, 5 years
doesn't
out
matter,
of the
man.
game.
He's
like,
had so much more training. You look at the difference between Avengers and Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
he's like next level Cap, so he would have kicked his.
I just put that down to the Russo brothers, though, stepping it up a bit.
See, I wasn't the biggest fan of the throwbacks. I just think they spent too much time on each of them that it just kind of felt like it was being dragged out.
Yeah. Right, no, I loved it. I would have loved more. I would have loved it if Tony accidentally fell over and they all turned and he had to address them all. Go, I know this is weird. I need those. Like I thought it would have come down a little bit more to that.
Look, I think we'll get into the cons about the film a little bit later, but like another sort of in terms of like the stuff that where they go back in time, there's some really cool points that they hit on. Yeah, and I think they do it really really well. Love that they talk about in terms of the time traveling. They throw a bunch of movies out there, Bill and Ted, Back to the Future.
That's
and just
the fact they were name checking.
They were name checking all these films, and they just like. You know, shut it down.
Yeah. They're like, they're all wrong. That's not how it works.
Yeah, for sure. I thought that was, and like I said, I think the humor is like it like the majority of it is it's spot on. There is a lot of it for a Marvel film. Is there any more pros that you want to sort of like? We'll go through?
Black Widow.
Awesome.
That's a pro for me.
Yeah.
So some people might feel a con. Black Widow dies. Finally, I'm happy for it. I feel that she's had her run. I was worried that they were going to keep dragging her on to the next phase. I didn't feel she needed to, so I'm kind of glad they called it and tied her up. Obviously, she's got a solo movie coming, but that'll be a prequel, no doubt. So I was actually really happy that they killed her off. I thought that was what needed to happen. So my friend who I was watching it with, she loves Black Widow. She wasn't happy about it. She wanted her to keep going, but nah. So I was really happy that.
I wouldn't
they did
say I'm happy that she died, but I think she had such a strong arc in this movie, which it made sense for her to die.
Yeah,
the
that's
way
it.
She did.
I wasn't like cheering like die bitch. It wasn't like that. It was just
And I thought like it had to be her over Hawkeye because he's doing like
that for his family.
he has to survive for his family.
Yeah,
Like, this whole thing is
she's got
pointless, and
no real ties.
She's she's pretty important to the operation of the Avengers, but
That's why.
ScarJo, like, massive performance. Black Widow's role was huge in the film. She was like, the binding factor of
And
the
she's a
Avengers
lot
still.
more. She's always pretty in control of herself, but this one you see her like crying, and so much emotion out of her character, which you barely see in any other movies. Like
which she's had to work.
She's like
to
really
regain her humanity.
and that's it. She's really like fallible, I guess, in this movie,
Yeah.
which is good. So,
Which is-
so I loved her character arc and the fact they killed her off, and I think it was a very good ending for her. And
Yeah, I thought
loved
her,
it, so-
her character arc was awesome.
It was a con
Yeah.
for me.
Con.
Yeah, it was a con for me.
I was kind of, you didn't like it? Didn't like it? No? Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I thought,
Sorry.
I 100% agree. I think I got the feels in that for sure. What we'll do is let's go over any other characters like quickly. So obviously we had the Guardians. Any pros on the Guardians? Like we had Nebula and Gamora. Any sort of like anything that sort of went home for you guys on those that you really enjoyed, or
Like, Nebula was massive in this movie. She was such an integral part. It was good to see her, like, again, she fought to get her humanity, and that's where she is now. And it was cool to see, like, the relationship with her and Gamora, who was obviously always on the cusp of getting out from underneath Thanos. Other than them, though, and I guess Rocket is in there strictly for a bit of
Humor.
He's humor, and he's also one of the science bros, I guess. But like the Guardians themselves don't play much of a role in this film at all.
Alright, cool.
At all, yeah.
Obviously we covered Ant-Man. Tony Stark. We haven't really talked too much about.
Yeah,
like he's a massive pro for me in this film. Like
Yeah.
I really enjoyed his character. I loved his. I love that he just throws it in Cap's face, and he's like, "This. I tried to stop this, and it is your fault." Like he basically blames Cap for this.
Yeah.
And I think that's like huge. And like we've spent 11 years building a movie that basically just comes down to Cap and Iron Man.
Yeah.
And that's huge. And I love their relationship. Everything that Iron Man does, he gives a suit to Pepper. Like he built, like you see him, like he cognitively can't switch off from going, oh well, we can time travel.
Yeah.
And I Downey kills it, like just absolutely slays it.
Skinny Downey just looks so worn out. You just never thought he was going to come back, and then
No, it's great, and I love the scene where he figures out time travel,
Mm.
and he's surprised by it. He's like, I did it. That's great. But
then his daughter walks in the room, and you're like, oh,
She's
what's
actually-
what's he have to give up?
the kid was great.
The
in
kid
it too,
was great, yeah.
But yeah, RDJ is MVP in this movie, or one of two, at least. But perfect end to Iron Man's character arc, of course. He and what a sweet line to go out on as well.
So true.
I am Iron Man. Like, that was really cool. Real hero's death.
Oh, there's so many. If you are a massive comic book fan, and if you've enjoyed the films, all of the things you like that you want to see, you get out of this. Like we finally get Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
They even
It's
say it,
huge.
didn't they?
Like
He says it this quietly.
Yeah.
Like, Avengers! But, all the tingles. I was waiting for, like, everyone in the crowd to start yelling it out, and I bet you they do in other theatres. It was a pretty...
It was a tame cinema,
Pretty
apart from
tame
crying,
cinema,
but yeah.
I thought MVP, Tony, Cap. Actually really enjoyed Thanos in this film because I feel like it's such a good split character to what you see from Infinity War.
Yeah, he's not as overpowered because he doesn't have the stones, so...
Well, there's
He's
that.
just so strong.
But,
Just
like,
Infinity War is
he's-
Thanos' movie.
Yeah. But like you get, like you sympathize with him more in Infinity War,
Yeah.
whereas this is he is the guy. I go to planets. I kill people. I loved him in the suit. I loved him with the sword. I loved that he beats the crap out of Cap after Cap goes at him, and he just flicks the switch and goes, oh, okay, cool. We're doing this, you know, like. And I thought that was like, huge because you need that character.
Yeah.
Like I I was like literally bummed to see him be like dusted. I was
Yeah,
like,
I thought it was a little bit of a lame checkout, but at the same time, it was so great because when he realizes on his face, like, he's so upset, he's so defeated, and he's like, I don't know defeat. This sucks, and you really see that.
And he does twice in this film.
He does.
He does.
And the first time it's quite brutal.
Yeah.
And, I thought that was going to happen as well. I thought they'd just go kill him at the start of the film because he's done. You know, he did win at the end of Infinity War.
Any other pros that anyone else can think of?
Only some like little moments. No big. We've covered all the big moments. I forgot. Sorry.
A lot of small things. Like I loved, Tony was saying to Strange, like, is this the one? You said there was 1 out of 14 million or whatever. Is this the one? He's like, I can't tell you. But then at the end, when like he very cheekily, he obviously like built that into the Iron Man armor to do that as well. Like that must have been a foresight. And when he turned to him and gave him like this is the one. I was like, oh, this is the one. Like I love that little exchange. I thought that was
I forgot to mention when we were talking about Cap and Mjolnir. Obviously, we're talking about Mjolnir. It does come back into the movie. We won't go into how, but for a little brief bit, Thor wielding both Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, rocking them both.
Yeah,
for a little bit. That was cool to see.
Yeah,
like.
Thor. I'm like 50-50 on Thor, but I think he brings like a really good, his character in this is like, it's interesting, but like he's so integral to what happens in this storyline. Because it's I think it was always going to be hard to top that scene in Infinity where he comes back. Like it's so. But so I guess we should let's get into some of the things that we didn't enjoy in the movie. And granted, like
these are personal.
These are personal gripes.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Obviously, I gave this an 8 out of 10. You gave it a 8.5. You're at a 9, and you were at a
7.
7. So let's start with you because you've got the lowest rating. So what hit your gripes? Like what?
Oh man, 2 big things. All right, which character do I start with? Hulk. The way Hulk was handling this whole movie, I was 100% not happy with at all.
Yeah.
Just because I love the Hulk, I love his character, and this arc they obviously have built up from Ragnarok and Infinity War to now. Didn't like where they went with it.
Yeah, I think with what they did to him in Infinity War, the payoff would have been, like, no, you don't put the Hulk down because he's the strongest there is. Like, and that's what I wanted to see, not the most. It's
Professor
Hulk better.
Hulk
It's
now.
Professor Hulk.
Yeah, like that was a room we sort of knew that was coming before we saw the movie, and I didn't like it. Like I didn't like Professor Hulk at all. So for those that aren't aware, it's basically Hulk and Banner
equally sharing, so it's Bruce's intelligence with Hulk's strength.
Yeah, which is, it's not really equally. It was just Banner with Hulk's body, basically.
There's no Hulk personality.
I think I didn't hate him being like Professor Hulk. I didn't enjoy that we never got the big thing for me was we never got the payoff of like Thanos beats the crap out of Hulk and he never gets any sort of payback for it. And it's just like, and we never get to see Hulk get angry.
Yeah.
That's probably more accurately what I mean. As in, he went Professor, but no real rage moments at all in the whole movie. Like he barely even
he threw a chair.
And then when the mansion got bombed, he was holding up the rubble so Scott and they could get out. But other than that, no rage moment, and that was out of this whole movie. Aside from Cap lifting the hammer, Hulk raging out and actually going crazy was the one moment I wanted more than anything.
I kind of didn't even think about
and I didn't get it.
Like I didn't think too much about the Cap thing because as far as I was aware, I didn't know Mjolnir was coming back.
Same.
So I had no idea that was going to happen. So it wasn't something I was preemptively wanting. But Hulk, even if it was Professor Hulk getting to a point where I don't know, Black Widow dying sent him into a rage, or even something that happens on the battlefield. Pops out, loses it, and goes for Thanos. Like instead of Captain Marvel being the one that rips the glove off him, like I would have loved it to have been Hulk, just in an unstoppable, savage Hulk.
That's it. We didn't get it, and that's it. I thought, okay, he got his ass kicked in Infinity War. I can deal with that if we get something in this movie, and we didn't. So that's a big factor why my rating has dropped.
Yeah, I think
dropped
that's
to where it was.
I think it's super disappointing. Like, there's everyone loves Hulk and everybody wants to see Hulk, and we just didn't get it in Infinity War, and everyone's here going, yeah, I can't wait to see what he can produce. And you know, like, I didn't hate, you know, Professor Hulk, and I enjoyed like what he was doing, but it was like, yeah,
it was worth a couple of giggles, for sure. And like, he still was like an imperative part of the story, and like what he did, being the one to wear the glove for the initial snap.
It's true.
And I just wanted to see him like he was in Ragnarok. Like, at one point, I just wanted to see him
Just Hulk being
just
Hulk,
Hulk,
like the
yeah.
Hulk we know and love.
Yeah,
Like,
so that was kind of a little bit.
That was-
that
yeah.
was definitely a little bit lame.
so that'll be interesting to see how that's received once this comes out wide release and
Yeah.
how the general public.
I think when we start seeing
Feel
more
towards that.
spoiler reviews,
Yeah.
like, I think it will be a pretty.
I'm curious to see how everyone else.
unanimous thing.
You guys probably share the next sort of point that you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
we
the
do.
next character.
Yeah,
You can-
Big Lebowski, Thor. When the movie starts, he's there. He's very depressed, and we're getting like, and I thought that might provide more of like an angry, dedicated following. Like, I'll be ready next time or whatever. I guess they didn't think there was going to be a next time, but to see him like, he's just a wallowing sack of sadness and regret, and he's fat and everything. Like, and I like the husky Thor with long hair and a beard and like the bigger belly, but like to know that it's just come from this place of depression and drinking beer and Cheetos or Doritos, whatever it's called. Oh man, it was. I didn't like it, you know, and like I think similar to the Hulk, if they gave us that for like up to the end of the movie or half the movie, and then just gave us the pop where he suits up and he gets his braided beard and is jacked again.
For me, like, I'm a little bit more lenient on Hulk, on Thor, purely because like you got to see the scene in Infinity War.
So true. Yeah,
right?
He had a moment.
He had a moment, right? And he has a moment in here, you know, where he comes out and he's got Mjolnir and he's got Stormbreaker and he goes out and you see him fight. We don't get to see Hulk fight, so I'm a lot more forgiving to Thor's character for that and what they do with him. This is what I was relating to in terms of the humor of it, right? Yeah, it's a great pop when you see Thor and he's fat. It's hilarious. It is, but that's the ongoing joke through the whole film, and they make a complete joke of his character, and he is literally one of like the three most powerful people in that film. And we just sat there and we go, all right, cool, yeah, he's fat, all right, that's funny, and then
he remains incoherent.
And then the whole film we spend, here's a joke about Fortnite, which is like, okay, cool, this is just for the kids, you know, and then it's like, we're poking fun. What are you wearing? Oh, you're not the Thor I know. You're a bit fat, and that's just like a whole thing through the whole film, you know, like even like War Machine takes a stab at him, and it's just like, yeah, okay, cool. There's like so much stuff that is going on in this film that like I don't need to sit there and like and to me the humor like that just went dry for me. Like it's just like, okay.
When Thor was going on about the ether, like, here's my girlfriend, all that kind of stuff, like I didn't find any of it funny, and then like you were saying, it was probably meant to be cringy for everyone that was watching him do it in the room then, but like I don't know, man, Hammy Hemsworth just it didn't work for me.
Do you have any cons?
One of my cons that I mentioned earlier, the Black Widow.
The death.
Yeah, I was really against that because I actually liked her being like the head of Avengers and organizing everything like across planets and talking to Raccoon and Captain Marvel and War Machine, just being the one who liaised everything. And I was like, that'd be such a good role for her. Like after like she's just given up on the fighting because they lost, and she's just going to take that role, and she did it well. So I was hoping they would keep her in that, and plus I don't like Hawkeye, so.
But I think it was an earned death though.
It was.
It's like effectively, I'd be happy if RDJ didn't die and Chris Evans didn't go out the way he goes out, and we can just keep going on forever, and they last longer than I do. But no, like I think when the deaths are earned, or the people that are dumb now with the franchise, like they all get such a hero's, you know, they're riding off into the sunset. I believe, even if it is with a cracked open skull,
Yeah, it's
bleeding all over the.
She definitely deserved the death, but I just preferred if she had that other role
Gotcha.
and just like had small scenes, like they just used her for like 5 minutes in future movies.
I see. I wouldn't even be surprised. I keep saying I don't think they're going to go back to this movie in any way. I think it's close, and what's done is done, other than maybe a one-off sentence or something like that in another movie. But I wouldn't be surprised if people that died as sacrifices going after the Soul Stone. No, what is it? What do you get? Is it the Soul Stone? on Warming?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was some way that they could come back. We could get a Gamora back. Because, Quill's looking for Gamora at the end, as you said, and if Widow's out there somewhere as well.
Okay, you're going to somehow still
It could be.
alive in the soul realm or
Yeah,
something
even
like
though,
that.
they are... Because I thought where they go to Vormir, I thought it was more of like a mystical, ethereal place. They wake up in this river, like, there's a little bit of magic in the air there, but at the same time, you can just go there and find the bodies, I guess, so...
Yeah.
Maybe it is a little bit. I don't like prequels either, so prequels with people that are considerably older than they were when it began.
I think if you're going into the film thinking you're going to get like a massive payoff and seeing everyone fight, like which you do in like Infinity War. Granted, I think the fight scene in Infinity War is actually better than Endgame, although the highlight of Cap being in Endgame is massive because he's such a bigger focus in this. But I think like what you see in terms of like the overall spectacle of what the fight is, like apart from like the poster scene and some of the hero shots, I think the overall battle itself is better in Infinity War for me personally. But there's no real focus on any characters really than the original 6.
It's their movie.
So like, you see glances of Black Panther, you see glances of, Spider-Man, you see a little bit like, so don't go in there thinking like, hey, we're getting this great big final battle scene and everyone gets a showcase, because it doesn't happen like that. We don't even get a Hulk payoff, right? So I think that's kind of lame that like this Endgame battle should have eclipsed Infinity War by like a long, and there's definitely parts of it that are like awesome.
I like the Endgame battle scene better.
So did I, overall.
Mainly because of Captain America getting the hammer.
But like if that's not in there, like there's nothing really.
Seeing Spider-Man and Death Mode and like had all the little bits that I wanted to see.
So chasing the gauntlet and Giant Man, overall it had more moments for me.
Same.
War, so. Yeah.
It was a little bit more. I think the Endgame final battle was a little bit more clustery.
Yeah.
It's like everything's happening here, which it was in Infinity War, but I think separating the two battles, like from on Titan and Earth, you got a little bit more space between the action. It was a little bit more visible, I guess.
I get no Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He's quite possibly top 5 most powerful characters in that moment.
If
Does he
it
have
could
the
be
stone,
top
though?
3.
Yeah.
Well, in this
Not
film...
anymore.
Yeah, he didn't have the stone in that one.
He's just standing off to the side holding water in this one because he wasn't on set. So that's how they... Like, I don't think he was there for any of the filming of the... I think he was just all green screened in at the end. So, like, that probably explains, like, how are we going to not have him in the scenes with all the other Avengers? He can hold a tidal wave at bay. All right, sweet. But I would have loved to see him in it.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of like pop moments, but like the Doctor Strange fight scene on Titan, unreal.
Yeah.
You know,
Infinity War,
in Infinity War, like we don't get anything like that in this film. We don't get, realistically, we don't get a cool Black Panther scene. It's just
that's disappointing.
Like he just and they show Bucky and Rocket almost in the same position as Infinity War, but like I didn't get a pop because there was no cool moment of like, hey, jump on and we're doing this. There's no Groot scene. There's no
Groot did
nothing.
We didn't even get an amazing reunion with him and Rocket too after the dad, like that's what he says in Infinity War when he dusts it and like all we see is them together quickly and I'm like, oh no, we're not going to do it now. Alright, that's fine.
So they're all the sort of things that sort of stood out to me as to like, okay, cool, there's like all these cool battle scenes and even like Captain Marvel's moment is cool, but it's not like, alright, cool. I would have, like you said earlier, I would have much rather Hulk have done that, for sure.
If it's a movie focusing on sending off the original 6 and giving them the focus, give him the damn kill shot. Give him something more important, I guess.
And I think Tony doesn't get as much a showing in this fights in that fight scene comparatively.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
no,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
So that to me, like, it's not
almost like they balanced out characters
Yeah.
and just forgot about the whole.
Yeah, and so like, it's not so much like a con, but like, I just would say advise, don't go in there thinking like everyone's gonna get this cool highlight moment that like, boom, yeah, this is great, you know.
Then again, it's so hard to do that with that many characters.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did that so well in Infinity War, where all the big milestone characters really do get like. For
They
me-
used up the whole the first 2/3 of the movie doing backstory that they didn't have as much time to add everything in.
You still
Oh,
have
man,
like
that
an
last battle
hour.
goes for a while.
Yeah.
Hey? But like, I would have, like in wars like this, I would have been happy without the cannon fodder, Chitauri. I don't know what the other
Yeah.
creatures are that like were chasing
the Outriders.
the
They're
Outriders.
the ones from Infinity
That's
War.
their name. I don't need the full armies. I would have just preferred like Thanos, the children of Thanos, and the Avengers, and like, you know, I don't know, fill it out with.
Because then Hulk could have even taken on Cull Obsidian, the big one, and they could have had a
Yeah.
or
And see, even though
something,
they
yeah.
just graze over those guys,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
felt like, man, they're so good in Infinity War,
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
and I was just like, oh, they kind of grazed over that, and they just kind of get killed.
Straight away.
I don't think I even saw the female one, like Proxima Midnight.
She was in there, but she
was-
just, I don't think she had a speaking role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I barely saw Corvus Glaive, and I didn't even recall seeing her. So there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Corvus Glaive's definitely in there.
That's another
Yeah.
con I had was I wanted to see like more casualties from that fight scene. Like no one died.
Yeah,
in
well,
that
that's,
whole scene.
well, that's a fight. Thanos didn't actually kill anyone.
Yeah.
He didn't like when he was fighting Cap with that double-edged sword. I was like, oh, I don't want him to go out by being chopped in half.
Yeah.
Which, you know, but like, yeah, Thanos didn't actually kill any Avengers in this
Just
movie.
like no casualties, which
Yeah.
like that's what I thought it was all getting to, and get to the final scene, and then it'd just be like people dropping, like there goes this person, there goes that person. I would have been
could
like,
have like you've lost 3 huge
Yeah.
players, you know.
We are also talking about a Disney film.
Sure.
All right. In terms of story, how do we all feel about the time travel thing?
I'm fine with it. I think they like offhandedly explained it enough that if you don't think about it too much, it's fine.
Yeah.
if you don't think about it.
Yeah, I look. I don't want to talk about it too much because, like, I think if you focus on it too much, there's going to be too many videos out there on the YouTube landscape of people tearing it apart. It's time travel.
There's flaws.
Feel free to comment below if you've ever seen a perfect time travel themed movie. Go ham, but like there really isn't.
They try to they negate the butterfly effect.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I just take it for what it is. Try not to focus too much on it.
Saying, look, I liked overall how they did it because everyone's online was saying, oh, let's just get the time stone and rewind time. It's like they're not going to do that. That's just the biggest cop out ever. Like the makers of the movies are not that silly. So no, the way they did it all, like I'm happy overall with how they brought everyone back and how they explained it and collecting the stones. So yeah, and no, I was really happy with how they.
Yeah,
Overall,
like it
anyway.
works fine. It
Yeah.
works good.
Yeah.
And it
Everyone's
gave,
got
and it
different
gave us the
opinions.
chances to go back to 2012 and 1970
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. It was like it was great.
Well, yeah,
Stud.
Falcon getting Cap's shield at the end instead of Bucky. That was just drove me insane because like Bucky had been like leading into it, like he went evil, then he's just been working his way back in, and he's a super soldier. He fit it so well.
Yeah, he is definitely the more obvious choice for the role.
Yeah, more worthy.
But I think
Recipients.
I don't know, in the time of representation and stuff like that, like Bucky is
Falcon.
much of a muchness.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Bucky is like, yeah, he was evil. He was a Hydra agent for years. He kills the majority of like he kills Howard Stark. You know, like there's so many things that he's done. Like he doesn't embody essentially what Cap is, and like Falcon does in what the cinematic universe is presenting, right? And I think Winter Soldier, like I quite enjoy him as Winter Soldier, but I just don't think they're actually going to. I don't think they'll give him a movie as Captain America, and I don't think they'll give Bucky a movie either.
Do you think?
But like in like Civil War, when Bucky picks up the shield, it's just such like a perfect shot.
You thought
It's
that was
just-
kind of their hint that that's where they were going with it. Maybe that was a deliberate
Swerve,
misdirect, to take away from the fact that hey, we are going to go with Falcon. And I think Falcon is. I'm pretty sure he's still he's the current Cap in the comics.
He is,
So they could have also used
and he's
that
got
as,
a sweet suit too,
Yeah.
the goggles and everything.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see where they sort of take that. like where they go with whether Falcon going to get a Captain America standalone film?
Well, who knows? Because we're getting a Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show.
Yeah, that's true.
Or are we? Was
Yeah,
that
we're
just
not,
a
'cause it's
swerve?
not, yeah.
How do you know? Like, I guess he's Cap now.
So, yeah, I mean, like, I just think, yeah, Winter Soldier's been off the map for way too long for him to, like, like, and you think about it, like, when the first time, like, Falcon and Cap meet, it's like, they have the same backgrounds, like, oh, we're, I go to these
both
meetings.
soldiers.
Yeah,
like,
even though, like, I know Bucky is, like, Cap's best friend, but, like, he went to he was a Hydra agent. But he is only that because of Hydra.
So Captain America, the Winter Soldier was a sweet movie. I can't wait for the Winter Soldier, Captain America.
I'm interested to see where they sort of lead off with that. Is there anything that sort of like lends itself to what you guys are expecting after this film?
It's a refresh, right?
Yeah.
You can do anything. You need a new big bad.
Yeah.
You need a reason for them. Like, I don't know, are the Avengers still going at the end of this? Like, I guess they are. I guess they stay the course just in case anything happens.
Like, is there,
Guardians.
there's no real official team. Like, Panthers, obviously, he's going to be kicking around in Wakanda. He's not going to be living in America in Avengers Mansion. No, it feels kind of there's no set team.
Well,
yet.
there's the Guardians with Thor now.
But they're in space. They're not even on Earth.
That's
They're
the
heading back into
whole
space.
cosmic side of things, right?
Yeah.
That's like a whole other...
No doubt everyone will come to and answer the call if it's needed, but
Yeah.
there's no real team set up.
Actually,
Like,
I
which
think
is
that's
fine. Like,
probably one of my favorite things about the film is like it puts a real nice bow in it. Is like, oh, like I can't wait for them to do this. It's like, well, what are we gonna get? So we now have like months of expectation, or like trying to figure out like, oh yeah, cool. I wonder what the next sort of like, okay, what's Doctor Strange gonna be doing, or like is there going to be another Avengers film? Is there going to be another team up? Is there something that we're like out of left field where it's going to be like, okay, cool, we're going to do another like Thor and Hulk film? Or are we doing Thor and the Guardians as like the next Guardians film, or is it a Thor and Guardians
Well,
film?
it was funny when they put Thor on the ship with the Guardians. I was going, maybe they did this before James Gunn was reinstated, because Taika Waititi was in talks to do Guardians 3, and maybe he was like, oh, I want Hemsworth in there as well. So like that could have been a reason for that. But like, obviously that's a pretty cool Guardians team. And I bet when we come back, Thor's back in shape.
I hope so.
But man, there's so many cool things. Like, I'd like to see them just go, yeah, we're doing another Avengers movie. They have a captain. It's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and then with the funeral with the kid from
Iron Man
Iron
3?
Man 3 being at the thing, like, what's he going to become? Like, why is he so important to be there with all the other superheroes?
Oh, he's just a cheap paycheck to stand in there the whole.
I feel like that's just like we're putting him there just to do exactly what Jarman just did, question it.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Why is that there? Why is this a thing? Like,
how many people I wonder went in there and didn't recognize that kid? You didn't, did you?
No, I had to search it. Yeah,
but it was like that kid's like, hey, I'm the kid that Tony Stark likes. We got a thing going on, and Peter Parker's just like, hold my beer.
But like, could he have been working with him like that whole time after, making suits and stuff? Because he said he had thousands of suits.
He could have. Like, the kid could be on some special MIT program or some Stark internship.
Tony Stark program.
Yeah.
Of some sort, yeah.
There's so many ways they could do it with Stark's little girl, with that kid. With,
There's lots of
Hawkeye's
like options,
daughter.
I think. So in terms of like where the cinematic universe can go into Phase 4, I mean, the rumors being it's that it's definitely going more cosmic, which hopefully then leads into like the idea of like, well, let's not worry about the ones that are on planet Earth. Like, let's not worry about Cap, or let's not worry about Winter Soldier, or like
Earth's kind of set for now.
They
got Black Panther. They got enough people that
like we get a Black Panther.
We can
film.
do
they got
standalone
Hulk's
movies
in
every
control
couple of
now, so he's going to be a much more reliable asset.
So do we start to get things like, okay, cool, well, this is the whole cosmic side, which then brings into, all right, cool, here's Fantastic Four. And we're going to do, like,
Silver Surfer.
pray to God, a good Fantastic Four film. So I think it's interesting where everything sort of ties up. And it's good, like, there's plenty of questions, there's plenty of, like, open air, I think, to really try and figure out what's going on with it. So does anybody have anything that they want to sort of pick up on or like mention before?
I'd like to mention that there's no end credit scene or mid credit scene in this.
Yeah.
The rumor was that might just be something so there's no spoilers.
That's what I reckon.
Yeah,
There's
so-
no way you could show something without, because they haven't even announced their Phase 4 lineup.
Yeah.
How can you do a post-credit scene without giving something
What,
away?
you think
So-
they'll tack one on soon?
I read a few things that there could be like, you know, maybe with all the Saturday embargoes and everything like that, there could be something where
They put it on after. Okay.
they put it on after. We did get a hammer
Yeah,
noise though.
you
right?
hear the hammer when the
Ding,
Marvel sign
ding,
comes up.
Mm.
ding, ding. I wonder if you went back to Iron Man. I
I
wonder if that's in there.
I read some theories. It was either the original Iron Man. There was something else, but the other one that I remember was people thinking it could be Wolverine getting his
No, that's just the inner fanboy.
Yeah,
it's-
I was like,
just
I hope it's
breathe.
not. That's my main thing. I hope it wasn't. I hope it's just the thought Iron Man's making his suit.
Massive pro is they didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
And I know all of you fanboys wet dreaming about like the fact that we're gonna get Wolverine and he's gonna kill Thanos or blah blah blah. Like, you guys are idiots. You complete idiots. It's like, no, nobody wanted that. No, like, no one wants to see Deadpool turn up and be like, oh, look at me, I'm witty and funny, and bam bam bam, we're done. You know,
Yeah.
like, I'm so glad that they stuck to their guns, because I think the film definitely gives you everything that you want, apart from obviously Thor and Hulk. But it also gives you things that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
So there was lots of things that was like, all right, cool, we got death, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
We knew this was happening. We got things that I didn't expect, like, okay, cool, Thanos is just jumping through time, and he's gonna be here.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So there's all these like,
Yeah, that was one of the biggest swerves for me. I
Yeah.
didn't know that he just, all right, I'll meet you in the future.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
so I thought there was like all of those, like it gives you everything, plus a little bit more in terms of expectation and what not to expect. So I thought it was it did a really really good job of that.
Central theme of the movie, it's family.
Yeah.
It's such a massive part of the Guardians. It's such a such a massive reason for so many of the characters doing what they're doing. Black Widow describes the Avengers as a family, something to live for, something to die for. It's all about Hawkeye and what the loss of his family does to him, and then all of Tony's reservations is, he doesn't, he's like, I want to bring everyone back that we can, but nothing can change
We
what
don't want
happened
to change
now.
now.
Because, you're not sacrificing your kid, and he wouldn't have sacrificed her to bring everyone back. He'd have to have both or nothing, kind of,
Yeah.
or not both or not help at all. Which is, it's a big theme in movies this year.
Garrett?
No, I'm pretty happy with where it's all at, and like saying before with the characters, we may not have a set Avengers team right now, but I'm happy to just have solo adventures of Panther and Doctor Strange and all these other characters. I'm not itching for another team up movie just yet, so I'm happy for it to just
It's
grow.
weird because I feel like zero expectation now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
it's a
Or what have we
restart.
got?
Yeah.
We have Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Like I just got
I
6 more episodes of
I-
that left, and what the hell else am I looking
Yeah,
forward
that's
to?
done.
Yeah.
you know, like I feel like
Godzilla.
Yeah, true.
the wait, like not that there was like a wait, but like I don't care what they do next because I'm sure it's going to
Yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah,
It's
despite my massive issues with the Hulk and that, and overall, this movie satisfied me, and I'm sweet for a few years. I'm
Yeah.
happy with just solo adventures and just
It's a
do whatever and
it's
bring you
such
some new
it's
characters.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like that's
a
all
massive polarizing moment for nerd culture.
Yeah.
There's like the expectation, this was building to this for 11 years, and it's it's done.
Yeah. It's crazy
It's
to think that.
weird. Like we always think we get a Marvel movie every 2 years, like
One
two
every-
movies
two
every
a
year,
year.
to lead to this.
And-
We they can keep coming out, but they're not leading to anything in particular
Not
as
yet.
of yet.
Mm.
Yeah.
I do have a question mark though about the end of where we're at now. Because these movies roughly take place when they're released. Generally, they do mention years in certain movies, so we've got a rough timeline. We're now in 2023 in the movies. They jumped forward 5 years,
They did.
and that's where it ends. So they're now 5 years ahead. I wonder how it's gonna.
That's
if
weird.
that's going to affect any other movies.
Well, Far From Home picks up basically the week after this, right?
Yeah, which means
I
it's set
don't know.
2023 now.
Yeah. As far as I know, it's picking up basically right after everyone comes back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes
But that
sense.
means now the movies are set 5 years ahead of where we are here in real
Currently,
time.
yeah.
They've always kind of taken place in our day and age.
Yeah,
So
which is weird. I wonder if any massive
I just wonder if that'll catch them up. If
Yeah.
that'll trip them up with any.
Like
That's all. They're just going to have to keep that in mind and to keep their timeline coherent.
We might have to do a theory video on implications of the 5 years.
yeah.
Because
I just see that potentially causing some problems.
yeah,
So
for sure.
Don't be doing a Fox.
Yeah,
Screw your timelines.
yeah. Let's
Keep it in check, Marvel.
Let's keep Fox out of this.
Yeah, they're well and truly out of the picture now. Okay, so let's go around the table. Any final thoughts?
I loved it. Yeah, just everything from the second half onwards. Like the first half, I was just like, okay, I know where you're going. Like, I just want to get to the end so bad. So I loved it. So
Okay.
Batman kills in Justice League, and that is similar to Hulk not having a moment and Thor being a fat loser. But opposed to Justice League being a stinking pile of crap, Endgame is great.
Man,
It's such a good movie. I can't wait to go see it again tonight.
definitely watching it again.
It's polarizing. It's huge. Go see it if you haven't. Why did you watch this if you haven't? No, great. I couldn't have been much more happier other than the two little nitpicks we have.
Yeah.
Jared?
Same, pretty much everything you just said. Word for word, yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, the good outweigh the bad. So
Yeah.
love
I can't wait to turn the cameras off and get really nerdy for the next couple of months because I can't wait to watch videos and theories and whatever.
I'm interested to see other people doing videos like this. I want to see
Easter
how many people
eggs.
agree with me, disagree with me, and see their arguments for and against it. Because
Leave those in the comment section below as well if you want.
Love to hear them.
If you have any videos yourself and you're making any theory vids, leave them below because we're happy to come check them out as well.
Overall, supremely satisfied, supremely relieved that it just
The
weight's gone. It's not, and I was like never worried that it was going to be like Justice League, but like there's always that like hesitation of like, is this going to be a steaming pile of just mess basically? But satisfied with all the character arcs, satisfied with where everything's leading and what's been finished and what's been wrapped up. Sad that it is done.
Yeah.
Stoked that it is done. Like the immense mix of emotion for me. It's worth the ticket price alone. I'd be interested to see how I feel about this film in a week, just to give myself a bit of breathing room. Like overall, like I think apart from like a couple of like nerdy nitpicks that we have, like hey, we just really wanted this. I think there's going to be too many people who tear apart the time travel thing, which you just got to kind of look past. And I think it's just like that's just a terrible excuse to make a YouTube video is to tear something apart about time traveling. If you want to go do that, do it to one of like Fox's films.
Yeah,
please.
you go travel through time first.
use the X-Men franchise to let your frustrations out.
Otherwise, I'm super happy. I loved the film. I thought it was very good, and I can't wait to go watch it again and enjoy it again.
I'm looking forward to the things you've missed videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, so we've been the drive-through. This is our spoiler discussion about Avengers Endgame. We do appreciate you sticking around. We know this one's a long one. But if you have any comments, please leave them below. Let us know what you think. Link any videos. Tell us what you guys want to hear, what you want to see next time. And we will catch you on the next one.
Avengers Assemble!